Hello, my friends. Good to see you again. This is 7 English Bible School. Thanks for joining us. And once again, your presence means a lot to me. God bless you and keep you.
Test results still take time. In Ontario and BC, most results are back in 2 days. Quebec reports back in 1 to 5 days, and Alberta suggests allowing 7 to 10 days. So new devices and other tests still in trials could be a big help. The B-cube, for one, is not as accurate as those invasive nose swabs, so there would have to be a follow-up on positive tests, but this could clear out a lot of negative test results.
This is great news. We do need to increase testing capacity.
More than 150,000 Canadians have now tested positive for the virus. The rate of testing has accelerated since the spring, but as anyone who has waited in long lines knows, supply is not meeting demand. Rapid tests could be a game changer, and this week Health Canada did quietly approve a new, more rapid test that claims to deliver results in 90 minutes and doesn't require a lab.
As the lineups for COVID-19 tests grow in Ontario, there's now a backlog of 65,000 test samples, the highest number since the pandemic began.
We can have as much testing as you want, but if the lab is unable to process this, then we're no further ahead.
But one new test could help with that backlog. The makers of the high-risk B-cube says their device has been approved by Health Canada. It can test through DNA for COVID-19 with results in 90 minutes. Essentially, a test and a lab all in one box that is portable. It would be a breakthrough for Canada.
This is the first point-of-care device approved in Canada that's truly portable. It's small, you can hold it in your hand.
Earlier, Ontario's Premier said he's just waiting for new tests to help with the backlog.
Just imagine if we had the rapid test approved, that we don't have to go into the labs, and because we're short on lab technicians, we maxed out the province. Health Canada plays an absolute critical role in getting these approved.
Several types of tests are in the midst of trials. The Prime Minister made it clear there will be no delays once the science at Health Canada declares them effective and safe.
If and when rapid tests are approved, we're able to get them distributed rapidly across the country. Those are things that we can have ready to go for when an approval hits.
In Ontario, pharmacies are now offering tests to cope with the backlog. This woman works in a long-term care facility.
It's free and it's safe and it's good and less lineups.
Test results still take time. In Ontario and BC, most results are back in 2 days. Quebec reports back in 1 to 5 days, and Alberta suggests allowing 7 to 10 days. So new devices and other tests still in trials could be a big help. The B-cube, for one, is not as accurate as those invasive nose swabs, so there would have to be a follow-up on positive tests, but this could clear out a lot of negative test results.
This is great news. We do need to increase testing capacity, and that could be by adding capacity to the current test or bringing online some parallel tests that can take the burden off the conventional lab tests.
The distributor, Songbird Life Science, reportedly hopes to ramp up production to make thousands of the B-cube boxes for distribution across Canada.
There was no mention of that newly approved test when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau held a briefing this morning. The focus was on the longer-term promise of access to a vaccine if a safe and effective one is developed.
We now have active cases in every single province.
Prime Minister stresses the seriousness of a second wave as he makes new commitments for vaccines in development. Canada is buying up to 20 million doses from AstraZeneca and committing another $440 million to the COVAX facility, which pools resources and distribution for vaccines globally between developed and developing countries.
This pandemic can't be solved by any one country alone, because to eliminate the virus anywhere, we need to eliminate it everywhere.
Canada now has deals for 6 vaccines in development and access to another 6 through COVAX.
The global market for vaccines remains intense and unpredictable. The contractual negotiations are complex. They're not simply a matter of distributing a standard form contract and having suppliers agree to our preferred terms.
The federal government is promising safety but isn't making promises on timelines. The AstraZeneca vaccine is in phase 3, but clinical trials in the U.S. are still on hold after an unexplained illness in one participant. COVAX's goal is to provide 2 billion doses by the end of 2021. In total, between all deals, Canada now has access to a guaranteed minimum of 174 million doses.